Right, good evening, folks. Welcome back to VP4TV. I'm still feeling rough, just as rough as I did yesterday, but we're going to try and soldier through it. We actually had one match we're focusing on tonight, which is the match you can see at the bottom of the screen. Mr.Bill has already arranged his second round match against Quagmire. That is Bill representing the USA, Quagmire, the Republic of Ireland. That's due to go ahead in just over an hour's time. But in the meantime, unbeknownst to me, Cold as Pillow has arranged his first round match with Viking210, which is about to start in a few minutes. So we're going to go with that one. I presume Cold as Pillow's the favourite. I don't know about the proper level that Viking's at. But welcome to Slim. Yeah, there's a good few matches there for you, Slim, on that schedule. And talking about the schedule, let me just bring up VP4. Hang on. I'll get in the background a moment. That's better. Talking about the schedule, we've got this match coming up. We're going to stick with that for the first hour, and we'll see how things go. Cold as Pillow against Viking. Bill and Quagmire at the top of the hour. And then we'll get Bedhead Miasma on Thursday evening at 9:40 p.m. I won't be there for that. Pool Kabouter Interchange X, that's one for Slim, which is, what day is that, on Friday. Shibo and Liquid, they've set their match for Sunday at 7 p.m. Cobra Sergresh is this Sunday at 6 p.m., which is the match I was intending to cover. So Shibo and Liquid, they'll be in the one-loss side. Albinario versus LS3, that's Sunday the 18th as well, which is at 8 p.m. So there's two matches clashing with one another. Well, not necessarily clashing. Cobra and Sergresh will be over before the Albinario LS3 match starts, but I won't be doing that one because that's starting at 8 o'clock and that'll finish possibly, 9:30 or whatever. And then finally we've got Brainful Out against Acero, and again, we mentioned that last night. That's at midnight. So again, if Slim's around, he's got a good 2 or 3 matches to cover if he's available, and he can help himself. So we've got a full schedule, and we'll go in when this room goes up, provided both players are here. Coldest Viking was in a room earlier on. There he is. And he's representing Canada. And Coldest Pillow representing Wales. Where's he hiding? Well, he's probably going to reboot the PC. Oh, no, there he is. He's top of the chat. Anyway, welcome, everybody. I was watching a bit of that stream I did last night, and I was listening to the sniffles coming through the mic. I do apologise, but I can't mute it all the time. I only mute it for sneezes, which there are a plenty of them. I'm going to suggest that Coldest Pillow is the strong favourite for this, because I don't think. Again, Vikings in a different time zone for me, so I don't really see him playing a lot. If he does, I don't know what his game is in terms of whether he's into 9-ball as such, or whether he plays any other type of games. Maybe you guys know. But we'll soon get to a fair judgment of what level he is once this room goes up. And that room should be going up any second now. Well, hopefully it will. Potman was talking to me earlier today. He has a problem, and the problem is that he's got 2 accounts. He's got his Thunder Bluster account, which he signed up to this tournament with, and his Potman account, and both of them have expired as far as he's now a gratis player. And the other problem he has is that when he tried to log in to his Thunder Bluster account, I think he's forgotten what email he used to log in because it wouldn't accept his email. So I can't help him with that other than tell him to contact support, which he said he's going to do. He's still got a few days before he has to arrange his match. The deadline, I think, I can't remember. The deadline's the 19th, I think. So he's got a few days to get that done. So again, hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. Cloth colour set to blue. And oh, hang on a minute. Wrong button. Wrong button. There we go. Let's just check that Viking's still in the lobby. There he is. So we're waiting on him getting himself into the room. Well, according to that, he's a B-level player, but you don't really know what he's a B-level player at. You know, sometimes these guys don't play in too many tournaments. They're just given a level. And only Steve knows how that's worked out. Anyway, coldest pillow on the right. And Viking on the left. The coldest pillow looks as if he's going to win the lag. So race to 19. And then, of course, we've got that match in an hour's time. Bill will be looking for an improvement, no doubt. And I wonder if this is going to take the same path in terms of follow-up racks. Well, there's the first mistake. That didn't take long. So let's see what Viking can do. See how he knows, if he knows how to move the cue ball and that sort of stuff. Yes, Slim, just read the chat. Yeah, that's what this stream was originally set up to do anyway. And this is more of a warm-up match for that. And the only reason I'm doing the Bill Quagmire match is that I didn't think I would want to do it last night, but, you know, I don't feel any better than I did last night, so I've still got a day off tomorrow, and that's really the only reason I'm doing it. But like I say, there's a whole load of other matches that I just simply won't be around for. So I'm trying to make hay while the sun shines. Well, very quickly, coldest pillows back at the table. And I have no clue what the hell he's doing. And I don't think he does either. But what he has done is tied up the 6 and 7. We can give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's playing tactically. Now, there's an angle to bump these. I don't know whether it's going to be any good, though. Well, that's not bad, but he might be hooked. And, of course, he is. Well, that needs to stay towards the rail. I don't feel much better, Slim. You know that feeling you get when you've got a cold where you sort of permanently want to sneeze all the time, and when sneezes do come, I tend to do like 4 or 5 at a time. Now, has he lined that dead to the corner? No, he hasn't. He might be able to billiard the 8 in. No, he can't do that either because he's too close to the 7. He could maybe billiard it in off the rail. If he cuts the 7, hits the rail, and hits the 8, he might be able to billiard that in, but he's not even giving it a thought. which might be a mistake, to be honest with you, because it was going to be difficult to keep the 7 safe, but that might not be bad. It's a bit ropey, this, for the scratch. It could hit the point. Looks touch and go. Well, he's played the bank instead. That was well done. Well, I think you could say Viking had chances, but they weren't necessarily clear-cut. So not really an awful lot to be taken from that first rack, but it goes to coldest pillow. Well, he's probably going to put Viking in trouble here behind that 4-ball. Loads of room to get there. No, he managed to cut it in. I didn't think he could cut that in. That'll do it. 4 balls wide open. So this could be a follow-up rack. Well, he's got to go across the table twice. No, he's trying to hold it. Well, at least he'll be coming round the back of the 6-ball. That's always a good thing. Welcome to Bedhead. I never saw you there. Well, you know, if you do judge Viking by his 9-ball rating, then you would suggest this will be a bloodbath. And once again, no shot on there for coldest pillow, but he's got cover. I mean, a sort of ambitious combo. Well, if Quagmire, I don't think I've seen a lot of Quagmire either, but I'm guessing he might play with a bit more thought and common sense than Shibo does. I feel a sneeze coming on. Well, didn't get really close to the line on that bank. So Viking has a little bit of a lifeline here, maybe, with that 6-ball. It looks, I mean, you can get into that 6-ball, no doubt about that. It's whether coldest pillow can control the cue ball enough, and I think he should be able to. This looks pretty good. You need to get to about there. I think he's gone too far, but Viking will be in trouble, or he should have been. This is going over the side. No, it isn't. Oh, yes, it is. It can still be cut in, can it? Yes, it can. Oh, dear. Well, maybe you'd be better off, actually going round and having a look at the cut angle before you shoot there, Viking. And that's not a good sign. Well, I've never seen Quagmire around an awful lot, so I think he's like a lot of people in VP4 where, you know, they get in now and again, but, you know, they're not spectered on. Well, it's a little bit worrying for Viking here, even at this stage. Good break from Coldest Pillow. Shot in the one, room past the four, I think. No, there isn't. There is not. But a good cut. So this is a lot more familiar territory for Coldest Pillow, albeit it isn't snooker, but he's certainly a lot more comfortable doing this sort of stuff. I'm still waiting on this sneeze coming. That's what I was talking about earlier there. You've got this sort of permanent feeling that you want to sneeze, and sometimes they happen, and then they just sort of hang around and they don't come out of you. And then you're looking around for a bright light to try and help you. So for those joining us, this is the sort of lead-up match to an hour's time, or maybe 50 minutes' time, where Bill's lined up to play Quagmire in a round 2 match. That's the one we're going to be going to. Now, mistakes like that are free gifts. Now, Viking needs to just get the angle and with ball in hand and get the cue ball up the table. Now, if you're not comfortable with what you're doing, you know, things become difficult, but he's played that okay. Well, that gets rid of the bagel, as they say. Cue ball. And that's what you don't want as a follow-up. Well, this 3 ball is obviously the problem. It's a bit sort of dodgy to get to, and it doesn't have a pocket to go in. Well, he's done his best to get as good a line as he could for the combo. But this for 5-1. Again, very comfortably done. Cue ball. Well, I don't think it was really going in, but the 4 ball got in the way. The break is dry. Yeah, I think that rating is probably pretty accurate for Viking. You know, that wasn't a difficult pot. And he could be in deep doo-doo here before the end of the night, if he's not already in it. Well, he's just got to watch. He can come out of there clean, probably left English on it just to check it and avoid any collisions. But everything's comfortable, everything's good. And no pressure on Coldest Pillow now. Now, while he's actually potting this, let's have a quick look at the bracket, because no disrespect to Viking, but I think even already, unless some major disaster happens to Coldest Pillow and he suddenly forgets how to play pool, he looks as if he's going to be going through to round 2, even at this early stage. And why can't I find it in the bracket? There we go. So who's he possibly lined up against? Well, I would suggest that Interchange X may well be the favourite against Pool Kabouter. So it's going to be, I would assume, a sterner test for Coldest Pillow in round 2. That looks probably the case. You can never ever take anything for granted, but I'm putting Interchange X as the favourite in that match. And that'll be a definitely tougher test for him. Should he get through this and should things go the other way? Well, that'll do as a kick. You might have Coldest Pillow having a go at the combo here. It might be worthwhile having a go. Try and cut that 9 into the corner. Yeah, I had a go. That was never easy. Oh dear. Well, here's a little exercise. Oh, he's going for the combo. I thought he was going to try and run out there. The challenge would have been to get that 3 ball. Well, Viking says he's not a fan of 9 ball, so now I don't know what he plays. I don't know what his game is. Well, Viking can try drawing this onto the 9. Watch you don't juice it up too much, though. Yeah, again, you see, the biggest criticism of these players at that sort of level is that I don't think he took any time to really make sure he was lining himself up properly to play that. You know, they're too much in a hurry to get things over with. Coldest Pillow gets a lucky kick. Oh, it's now VP4 Bill. Is this the same Bill, is it, that's playing later on? I don't remember that profile. I'm still waiting in this sneeze. This is this permanent feeling I want to sneeze, but it's just not coming through. And it's most annoying. Well, I suppose this could be one of these matches where Viking is very likely only going to get the odd gift from a mistake late on in the rack from Coldest Pillow. You know, like leaving a ball or two to be potted or something like that. I think that's the way this match is really going to go. I think we're all pretty much agreed on that. This is over and done with. There ain't no miracle comeback happening here, folks. Ah, right, got you now. Well, I would just give that a good smack off the rail and hope for the best. No, I'd give it a bigger smack than that because all he's done is set it up. So, the sort of essential attributes that a sort of lower level player needs, you know, like, for example, the one I keep moaning about is, you know, think about what you're doing before you do it. Lower rated players tend to be these players that just like hitting balls, but in terms of making themselves or letting themselves become a better player, where they can easily help themselves, and then they wonder why they're still at the same level after maybe playing this game for a number of years. But again, if they don't have that hunger to get better, then, you know, they're quite happy playing and coming up against these guys in these big tournaments and getting pumped. You know, it's a sore one to take. But you can't say you've had a bad match when you've not really done a lot to help yourself. But you can do by getting the basics right. Welcome to Defty. So the little test here then is what do you do with a 6-ball? Now, this might be shallow enough to draw up to it. Or is he just going to play the hook or try to cheat? I don't think he can. Can he cheat that pocket? No, he can't. It was too tight. But that's the next best thing. Now, again, give this a good pummel because you never know. None of this gently. Just give it a smack, amp it up, give it a belt. No, I saw something in the chat in the lobby, but I've been on YouTube the last couple of hours messing about on there and I never saw anything posted there. Usually you get YouTube videos coming up with stuff like that, but no, I haven't. But no doubt Steam will be desperate to reassure their customers, and no doubt they will email me and tell me about this breach and that everything's all secure. Well, I don't use the Steam wallet anyway, so there's the 3 balls lined up. And I think they all go. Well, only 89 million accounts breached. Well, I'm going to stick my neck out here and say that it's going to be very difficult for Viking to get another rack in this match. But the only way it'll happen is by a howler by Coldest Pillow late on in the rack, where there's not a lot of balls to be potted, and Viking may well get another 1 or 2 in the board. But apart from that, it's probably unlikely. So we are 35 minutes away from what is going to be the main event for me, the round 2 match with Bill and Quagmire. Assuming Quagmire shows up, that is. And the good news is I finally got a sneeze in there. If you wait long enough, it'll come. I think I feel another one coming on. I told you they come in batches. Hang on a minute. Yeah, that's 2 in a row, folks. I've got a better run in sneezes than Calder's Pillow has in racks in this match. I've got a 2 sneeze run. I don't think... I'm not sure there's another one. Oh, hang on, there might be. No. It's another one of these threatening ones, but it's hanging off. Well, I think that was a perfectly legal shot. Oh, that was unlucky. I thought he'd got that. Right there. Commentator's eye didn't pick it out. The reason the commentator's eye didn't pick it out properly is because his eyes are smarting with tears and all the usual side effects of having man flu. I'm having to dab my eyes, the usual crap. I read somewhere, now somebody else can confirm or deny this, I read somewhere that throughout your life, you will catch the cold viruses that are going around, and they're all different. Or at least that's what I read or heard or whatever. I can't remember wherever that happened. But anyway, I also read that once you have them, you won't get them again. Well, I can tell you, at 60 years old, I've had hundreds of colds in my lifetime, and I thought I'd be well past having colds. I thought I've had every bloody cold virus going around, but apparently not. No, I don't sneeze that amount. I mean, the other night, what was it, last night, I went to bed, and of course, no sooner I'd gone to bed, I'm tossing and turning, can't get to sleep. And then I sat up in the bed, and the next thing I know, I got 5 in a row. And then, of course, I had to get up and blow my nose. And eventually I gave up and put the PC on at about 2 o'clock in the morning, went onto YouTube, got fed up with that, went back to bed, and lo and behold, I woke up at 6:30 this morning. I actually had a sleep, but I think I was so worn out that the inevitable happened. I eventually did fall asleep. Right, anyway, for those interested, it's 9-1 to Coldest Pillow. And we're still short of the half hour in this match. I was watching, you know the videos I've been watching today. I've been watching Beard Meats Food, watching him, and then there was another guy I was watching him. He, what's he called? Greeno or something. He's called. He does the same thing. He doesn't do eating challenges, but he just goes and tests different restaurants and different fish and chip shops and all of that sort of stuff. The video I watched, he was in New York at this Turkish restaurant, and they've got $900 Wagyu steaks on the menu. $1,500 steaks. But he decided to go for the $180 gold-covered burger, which has got Wagyu meat in it as the burger. And he was complaining that the actual gold-covered burger bun was only covered in the top. It wasn't covered in the bottom part of the bun. And he paid $180 for it. Unbelievable how gullible people are to pay that amount of money. But then again, if you were a businessman and you're making millions, you don't bat an eyelid at that type of money for food. Yeah, well, Cold as Pillow plays at a level that he's comfortable with. He plays at a speed that he's happy to play at. Dry break. Now, there's loads of balls to get cover behind here. Yeah, I think he's going to have to try and drag the pace off this, or is he just playing it dead weight? Yeah. He's got a nice touch, Cold as Pillow. We'll give him that. Now, that 4-ball wants to run up to the 6 off this combo. He's played it as soft as he can, and he's held it in a potting line that he's got available for it. It's a wee bit tricky, though. That's nice. Very nicely done. Well, that's 27 minutes to go until this next match. And the way Cold as Pillow's going, this could all be over and done with before it is due to start. It might be touch and go, but the way things are going now, it could all be done. A little bit of check in the cue ball. It kills the pace a wee bit, but also stops the cue ball bumping into the 8-ball. And the stun shot hits the jaws. Ball stays up. And I think that you can get some of that 4-ball. I don't think you want to put too much on the cue ball. Yep, he just nicked it in. Well, this 4-ball is banking every day of the week. This is pretty much unmissable as a bank. Absolutely stone dead plumb. This is a bank shot. And it's something you don't need to slam. You just need to let that 4-ball run out. And he's hit it too narrow. If you're comfortable with them, you see that every day of the week. You would never think twice and contemplate that you could ever miss that bank. But that's obviously the more experienced players would have that notion. Or the higher level players. But I've still got every respect for Viking and players like him who, they're in these tournaments, they've got no chance of winning. But it's one way to look and see how the better players do play. If you've got any aspirations to improve your game, you've got to sit and scratch your head and say, well, what am I doing wrong that guy's doing a lot better than me? And there's no doubt there's the usual things that I say. It's a learning process. Whether you do play or have played pool, billiards or snooker or whatever it is in real life, you can always bring that to this game. If it's the other way around, where you've never played anything like this in real life, then all your learning has to be done in the game. But that also is down to how much commitment you've got and time available to go down that route. Another testy potting angle. You've got to watch that right side pocket here. What am I talking about? I forgot to say, my eyes didn't. Was that the 2-ball he played there, or was it the 4? Did he play out a turn? No, it's my eyes that have gone. It's that time of night. Well, the 3-ball clearly doesn't go past this 7 and 8. But can he come up with any sort of half-decent safety here to maybe give himself a glimmer? Well, this might be good if it slows up, and that will do very nicely. Very well done. So there's a possibility here for Viking if Cold as Pillow doesn't get the hit. And even this is a challenge with ball in hand for him. I've no doubt about that. That's if he gets ball in hand. That might. I thought he was in a very good line there to cut that in. I've got bad news for you, Bedhead. The problem with these matches so far that we've seen, it's been a struggle to get consecutive runouts, and you're getting a rack, then you're getting a dry break, and nothing happening. We've had 2 matches where that's really happened far too often, and we're yet to get a match where somebody's had 3 or 4 rack runs. It's not happened yet. Just a gentle roll into the jaw to use most of the pocket. That was more than a gentle roll. That was a confident pot. Positive shooting. Yeah. 20 minutes to go before Bill and Quagmire go head to head. 2-ball is tied up. Oh, that just short. So here we go, Viking. The challenge to get this 5-ball and get up to the 6. And there is a hope of a second rack here for him. Well, he can nip this in. Got to decide what side of the table he's played this at. Now that needs to go around the corner and up. It looks a nice pace. That's pretty good. If he's not happy with the cut and the cue ball leaking away, he might well play the bank. Let's have a look what we've got here. Yeah, if he plays the cut, he's fine. Has he made his mind up where he wants to play this into the side? Now, this is where you have to go 100%. And here we go. He's going to get his second rack on the board. That was well done. And he's happy about it. He's giving it a woohoo. Two ball goes in. No shot in the one. And might be hooked on it, as a matter of fact. Well, if I was him, I'd just be pushing out across the table. I mean, or pushing and leaving an edge, because they might be leaving a bank going across the table, as a matter of fact. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be going up the table, because the one ball pots. What about just dabbing to there and just leaving the one ball to, see some of it, but not all of it, maybe. But I wouldn't go up the table. I wouldn't be doing this. I have no clue what that was about, and I don't think he does either. Oh, you're joking. He's just said he doesn't know how to push shot. Well, that tells you he doesn't play 9-ball. He's probably a billiard player. Probably 3 cushion or something like that, or 8-ball. Straight and 8. Five ball's going to go in. One ball's locked away. And Coldest Pillow 4 racks away from round 2. I don't know why Coldest Pillow's saying he mostly plays cowboy. That's a blatant lie. Vikings never played cowboy. Well, he wants to get his boots on and his chaps and get geared up for a game of cowboy. Right. 2 ball over the side pocket, 3 balls going nowhere fast. Although if you can get yourself out into the middle of the table, you've got a 3-8 combo. Well, it ain't perfect. He's got to judge the draw. Now, there is a possibility the billiard, they tried it. Well, after Coldest Pillow's efforts in the Straight Pool World Championship, he couldn't ask for a more comfortable start in his next adventure with a comfortable win in his first round match. But wake up time will happen soon enough for him. There's that pattern of the 3 balls again. Right, so this match should be over. We've got about another 12 minutes to go. And we've got Bill and Quagmire at the top of the hour coming up. Oh, getting off the 4. Well done. Big pocket. Now it's time to try a bit of ducking and diving here. That's too heavy, I think. Yeah. Touch like a sledgehammer. Far too heavy. Six ball goes. That looks good. And that's pretty well done. Problem's the 7, of course. Now he could nail called Viking here, which hasn't worked out well. Now, does that 9 ball go 3 rails into this corner pocket here where I'm looking? I'd be giving that 7 ball a slam and a cut and hopefully getting that 9 ball around the angles into this corner pocket. Give it a smack, because again, you never know. Nope, tried the combo. I like to line that 9 ball was taken off that rail there to come down that direction. I think it was a reasonable enough line for the 2 railer into this corner pocket. Well, it looks very likely this match is going to be well and truly done before the hour. But that one's dry. And a nice bank. Could do with another one, though. This isn't ideal, the way he's set. He's trying to nip behind that 5 ball. I think he was thinking about it. Yeah, he's trying to get dirty. Hasn't worked out. That's a big pocket where the 9 ball is as well. He tried to use the 9 ball there. Well, I suppose now would be the time to have a quick look in the lobby and see if Quagmire's anywhere around. Because if my memory serves me correctly, no, there he is. I'm not sure whether he's appeared for all of his tournament matches in the past, but anyway, he's here, so we do have a match on. And Viking looking to get his 3rd rack in the board here. Got to play this 7 ball right. Well, this is just a little dink around the back. Not too heavy. And that'll do. He could have done with a wee bit more up table, or down table towards us, but. And it's in. So rack number 3 on the board, provided he doesn't scratch opposite pocket. Doing his best to try and take this to the hour. And a ball in the break. Well, at least one anyway. The 8 ball has gone. 1 ball does go. This is just a little roll in, sort of dead weight, and roll through. The 2. Caught the 7, has he? No, just missed it and no more. But he's getting no help with the lay of the balls. The 3 balls married up with the 5. And, well, he tried to get on that 3 into the side pocket, hit it a bit too heavy, but forgot the first part. Potting the 2 ball. Now, this is where Viking can get Cold as Pillow in trouble. He's got to be cigarette paper thin edge in the 2. And that's not bad, as long as he doesn't scratch. Uh-oh. He's so... Oh, I think he's left a gap. As John Virgo says, there's always a gap. Look at that, although he can't pot it, but he can certainly hit it. And it's come out too far, and the pot is on. Well, I think that 4 and 6 are not quite dead set, but not far off it. 6 is going in, 4's into the table, and 4 has a pocket. And Coldest Pillow will be on the hill. So we're at 57 minutes. Another dry break. Not the best choice of a push out. Well, Coldest Pillow looking to complete the formalities here. And we're at just coming up to 59 minutes. There's the cue ball going. That's a disaster. That is what you call a numpty shot there from Coldest Pillow. And a chance for Viking to take this match over the hour. If he can get these 4 balls put away. I don't think it'd be wise to try any combo in the 9. Not when all you have to do is roll the 5 in. Now, you see, he's gone just a wee bit further than he would like, but that'll do. Control that well. So Bill and Quagmire's room will be up. If it's not already up, it should be about to go up. And Viking has got 4 racks on the board. Cue ball's gone. And Viking's done that twice from the racks that he's won in this match. He's scratched immediately in the next break off. And I'm confident in saying that will be that. Everything wide open. It's just a little exercise in moving the cue ball. And Coldest Pillow's skilled enough in doing that. I think he's got himself. Now there's a slight angle. Go forward and come back up. And that's perfect because, again, you can go forward and check it and just come back out. So, yes, it is a very comfortable win for Coldest Pillow. Oh, there you go. Commentator's curse. He's hung the 9, and there's a little free gift as long as you don't follow it in to get 5 on the board. And all of a sudden, Coldest Pillow's falling apart like a cheap suit. Well, don't scratch this time, Viking. Whatever you do. Well, he's got one success. He didn't scratch. But I think he's left us one ball on. Right, Coldest Pillow. You ended up looking a numpty in the last rack. Let's see what you can do this time to beat it. Well, sticking himself to the rail doesn't help. So a little... Well, I don't know whether he's straight enough to draw back or whether he can just drop through, take the 6 on the side. Yeah. Well, fair play to Viking. He got 4 more racks than I thought he was getting at one stage. Coldest Pillow finally gets the job done for a 19-5 win. And he goes through to round 2, waiting on the winner of Interchange X and Pool Kabouter. And Viking heads over to join those on the one-loss side. Meanwhile, we'll get into the match we're intended to watch. We've got Quagmire and Bill. Quagmire's already won on the board. And I think I've jinxed him straight off the bat because that was a terrible attempt in the 6. Absolutely nowhere in the 7. So everything about that shot was wrong. And, well, Bill should be all square here. Oh, yeah, I'd called the match over and done with, but you started to see the finishing line too soon. I think this might be a wee bit more competitive, this match. Well, you probably are going to play Interchange X in round 2. I say probably because you never know, but that'll be a tougher test, I would imagine. Well, got to dig in and get out of there. And that's pretty good. Although, again, he's got to either nip back, but what angle's he got? See, he's got a... I think he's got away with that. That's fine. He's playing the safe route. Now, you've got to watch that side pocket here, Bill. I think he's okay, though. I don't think the... Well, you see, it went to the point. Right, I'm going to be back in a minute. I'm going to head to the blow your nose room in the house. I'll be back in a minute. Well, since we joined the match, we've only seen one poorly played shot by Quagmire. And it's been all Bill since then. Now, this 5-ball's certainly going to go left. But is it going to go close to that 7, or is it going to open up? Well, he's hit it hard enough to make sure it didn't tie up with the 7. And now he's got a testier shot here. So Quagmire now with a chance to square this match. Again, it's easier said than done. Judging this cue ball coming out of there, avoiding the 9, catches the back end of the 9, but loads of room to get up for that 7. And Quagmire's not getting second prize either. Well, Bill, let's have a look at this from this end of the table. Well, you've got to go forward. Well, he's drawn back, got to watch the side pocket, and he's got into the cue ball enough to take that out of the equation, so that was well done. Forward, you're letting the cue ball running loose, but with all the open space, there's a fair chance you'd get on it, but Bill was comfortable enough to nip into the cue ball enough and avoid anything daft happening. Cue ball goes in. No shot in the 1. Well, the thing is that I think the top right-hand corner would be the place to push up at that top right-hand corner pocket. Now, he's maybe left enough of this 1 ball to... Let me have a look. Well, he should be able to use these 2 balls to get cover if he plays this right. And the 9 ball will do the trick as well. He can... Well, he can... I don't think he can pot this. I think... Is there enough of an edge where he can... Maybe he can. No. But he'll take that result. Bill runs he runs is it not like permanent? Is it not trailer parts that Bill's organised with or something? Well, I think that's what he still does. Did he not? I mean, he used to be Albuquerque Bill because he moves around the states, as far as I know. I don't know where he is now, but as far as I know, it was sort of trailer parts and that he was running. Oh, welcome to Interchange X. Never saw you there. I'm having to lie back in my chair to try and stifle the flow. Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah. You know, I don't think I'm not sure whether they're actually. I think they're sort of they're sort of permanently fixed trailer homes, stuff like that. But only Bill will give you the affirmative answer as to what it is he actually does. There's been times in the past where Bill's been here, you know, like all day and every day, and you used to wonder whether Bill did anything at all. He certainly doesn't get here as often as he used to. So Quagmire has trouble ahead. But the 7-ball does go into that side pocket. And he's got the angle to pot this, come off the short rail, and get far enough up the table to play that shot. So he's coming up this side. And if he isn't, I don't know what the hell he's doing. That looks a good pace. Well, it's a wee bit heavy. Yeah, I thought it was a good pace, but it was a bit heavy, but he's still got the cut. He might be grazing this 8-ball. Yeah. Well, this is less comfortable. And I think even at this stage, he doesn't want to let Bill get away too far here. He wants to get this taken care of. Yeah, well, if in doubt, slam it. And the harder you hit them, it doesn't mean to say they're going to go in. I think we'll try again. Well, that's a good pot. Now, if you've started off the rack like that, Quagmire, you've got to see this one through. Well, maybe he wants to try and bump that 8-ball here off this 3. But he could finish behind the 6. Well, he's played it soft enough to avoid that. But he's ugly in the 4 as well to get to the 5. Needs the right bump. And that ain't going to do it. Right, feather edge. Oh, that's poor. That's poor. There's no way Bill should have been seeing this much of the 5. Well, I've got my doubts about Quagmire already. This is going too far, I think. Is it brushing a 7? That's not bad. I thought it was going to head to the short rail there. Well, at this early stage, we could be having a second bloodbath here in our hands. Well, as is the case, Bill is going to give you chances. It's whether you're going to be good enough to take them. Well, I think Bill can go behind the 4 here. Can he? Let me have a look. No, he could see the edge. He could actually see it. I thought he was fully snookered there, but clearly wasn't. Well, it's a stub cut in the 2. A blast. And it goes. 6 is a blocker. In fact, tell a lie, I forgot he was in the 3. It's that time of night, folks. And I'm ill. So you've got to throw me a line. Well, how many racks did Viking get? He ended up with 5, didn't he? Well, I suppose at this stage, you might as well say if Quagmire can get to 5, that won't be bad. Well, he wants to think about getting back into this sooner rather than later. That's all I'm saying. And a solid enough break. There you go. 6, 7, and 8 all in the pockets. Sitting decent enough in the 1. Cue ball stays in play. Nice angle in the 2. Now, he's got to come down the right side, I would think. Watch that 5 ball, Bill. Watch that 5 ball. Watch the 5 ball. Oh, dear. Well, Quagmire, I'll say it. If you can't get out with this table, you've got absolutely no chance of getting back into this. Straight rolling. Number 2 on the board. What about a follow-up? I don't know what went inside the 7. What is the 8? No, tell a lie. It was a 3 and the 8. Well, he can definitely duck here. I think he can catch the edge. He might be able to cut this in. Yeah. Just enough showing there. And he's landed up pretty good in the 2. Now, can he stun through the gap? I think the 6 ball's in the way. Yeah, he pushed it through to get the 6 out of the way, but he's going to be hooked. Tricky to judge that, how much you were going to take of that 6 ball. So here's another opportunity to get another rack in the board and try and stay in touch. I'm not so convinced that that's what he really wanted to do there, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And ends up doing that, which does not help his cause. Yeah, the shot that he played to get on the 5 wasn't all that convincing. So where Quagmire should have been punishing Bill, he's ended up giving up the rack. Not again, just not a good way to go about things. You should be taking those racks out if you have any decent potential. So 4 ball has gone, sitting good in the 1, and they're all available. That's 3 in a row so far, folks. Sneezes, that is. So that's my best run of the night so far. That 9 ball, I think's off the rail by a good 2 or 3 millimeters. I think it's fine. And this will be 8-2 to Bill. And 3 balls going to go in as well, and he's on the 1. So the make or break shot in this rack is getting from the 2 to the 4. And everything else should be elementary, my dear Watson. And I think he's perfect in the 2 for that. A little nip back. Oh dear, and no sooner is he looking good than these silly unforced errors jump up and bite him. Bill's going for the title this year, says Coldest Pillow, and then Bill dogs the 4-ball. And Coldest Pillow, you'll never ever take my jinxing title away, but you're having a good go at it, I'll give you that. And poor old Quagmire is in the mire. He's hung the 5, and Bill gets out of jail. Or at least he's got the opportunity to. Well, I know what I'm doing. I'm 3 rails every day of the week here. I like to let this open out and run, just to be fancy. Because then it's a little test of just judging the pace around the rails. Whereas Bill played it the proper way and played the simple shot. I would like to just let that roll. Cue ball. And the 2 and 4 look reasonably set. Oops, hang on, wrong button. Yeah, that's easily makeable. So, ball in hand. Leave the angle to get across for the 2 and 4, which is done. He's trying to jump behind the 5 ball, but I think he's still fine. Angle is, well, just enough to get up the table. He hasn't hit that hard enough, though. He really needed to get up to there, a wee bit more comfortable on this 3. But no excuse that he doesn't have the angle to get up for the 5. And that's a much better pace. That's better. So the same old story there, all there. It's all about the cue ball. Oh dear. And that, I'm afraid, is like deja vu from the last rack. Far too many unforced errors. Well, is Quagmire going to get to 5 racks? Is Bill going to be as generous as Coldest Pillow? These questions have to be answered. Yes, but I can't remember what one. I could be wrong in that. I don't know. I think. Hold on a minute. I might as well go and find out. Now that you've mentioned it, that's not what we want. We want stats, don't we? There he is. Yeah, you were right enough. It was in 2016. Bill won the straight pool, and that is it. But at least he's won one, which is more than some of us. Right, so Bill with a healthy 10 racks to 2 lead. Yeah, I mean, that was what, 9 years ago Bill won that. I mean, I don't know whether I've got. Have I got? I'm not sure whether I've got that in a playlist on my channel. It's that long ago, I can't remember. Well, if he had just hit the rail and come out, he would have been fine. He's still got a pot here, but this is it's just awkward. Yeah, played it well. I haven't seen Steve online all day. Let's have a quick look. I don't think he's. Oh, he is. He's finally appeared. Oh, that's the wrong thing. What the hell have I done there? Right, are we going to take bets on whether Quagmire gets to 5? Bill could be playing a 2-9 combo here right off the bat. Yeah. Well, that solves that issue. Bill's in a hurry. Was it? Was VP1 2? What the hell are you talking about, cold as pillow? Type that again in English instead of Welsh. Well, oh, right. 2-dimensional, is that what you mean? No, it was 3D. No, I had all the games, but my internet connection was, dial up at the time, and I didn't finally come online until VP3. You had Virtual Pool. I always remember that Virtual Pool 2 was very short-lived. It was like Virtual Pool 2 was out for like 9 months, and then suddenly there was Virtual Pool Hall. Yeah, but I think you got to remember back in the day there, Larry, I was a rookie with computers, even more of a rookie than I am now. And I don't even think I probably would have worked out how to get online then. Well, that was nasty, Bill. Very nasty. I remember. Oh, look at that! That's incredible that he's managed to do that. And suddenly the replay. Oh, it is working. I thought it wasn't working there. I remember we used to the actual first game that I really played online was what the hell was it? That army game, that military game. Oh Christ, I've forgotten the name of it. And we played it with dial-up, and it was absolutely horrible. I mean, you had terrible lag. You know, you're shooting your gun or your tank, and the guy just keeps coming at you. What was it called again? Operation Flashpoint. That's what it was. And then it was Arma. But the very first PC game, Operation Flashpoint, there was 4 or 5 years played that. We loved it. We enjoyed it, but it was so crappy with dial-up. And even when I got VP3, I got it in the November when it was released, and I didn't come online until like March because I wanted to get practice with the game before I did that. And then when I came into GameSpy, the first guy that ever played, and I always remember his name was Kudos. He was the guy that sort of showed me the ropes, introduced me to the VIP ladder, and then the rest is history. No, I never played. I mean, I had FIFA at one time, but nah, I never got another one. Let's just put it that way. I can't remember what the hell console I had it on. It might have been, was it out in the Master System? I don't remember. And I have still got my Sega Master System all boxed up, both the controllers working, the RF cable for getting into your aerial socket. I've still got it, and it's got Alex Kidd in Miracle World installed. It must be worth a few bob that now. That must be sort of antique. And Alex Kidd in Miracle World was bloody tough, so it was. I never ever get anywhere near completing that game. So Bill, 12-4 in front. Well, Quagmire might be getting to 5. I had Jimmy White snooker. That was brilliant. I had that in the computer. Yeah, that was a breath of fresh air when it came out. I mean, it's crap now when you think about it, but it was great where the balls had eyes. If you didn't play a shot for a second or two, you know, the ball would animate. They're all collector's items now, those games. Yeah, see, I've tried all those other snooker games. They're far too bloody slow. That's the thing that, I mean, it puts you to sleep. Setting up the shot, setting up the power, and then playing the shot. I've got no patience. That's the thing. Absolutely no patience for those games. And it makes you then realise how much simpler that VP, that virtual pool technique is using the mouse. And why other games can't see that is beyond me. That's the bit that puzzles me, is why anybody that's ever making a billiard type game that's 3D and they stick with power bars and crap like that. It's so tedious. VP, once you've played VP, you can't go back to those type of games. They're just too boringly slow to play. No, that's it. You're not moving your cue. All you're doing is moving a bar, and then you're hitting a button to play the shot. Just tedious and boredom. But some folk love it. I can't see the appeal at all in them games. You know, this game is pretty much bare bones in the terms that you have to have some sort of skill level and knowledge to be good at it. You know, it is bare bones, and a lot of people find that the difficult challenge about virtual pool, especially if you ever endeavour to come online. Right, I think it's time for. Oh, that was almost a numpty move there by Quagmire, but he's got 5. I think it's time for another blow your nose break. Back in a sec. Right, I'm back. Yeah, I don't think you'd like that too much, coldest pillow. I think you would give up that idea once you've been playing 2 or 3 shots and getting frustrated with unforced misses all the time. Some folk do that naturally in VP, myself included. Now, thin edge off the left side of the 1 and come up the table and miss the 2 ball, because this 1 ball isn't a bank. Really, it's not a comfortable bank, because I think it's too close to the rail and you're trying to get the cue ball out of the way. But I'd be going left side of the 1, cigarette paper thin, and trying to sneak up past the 2 ball. But Quagmire's choice was, no, what I'll do is I'll just cut it from the opposite side and set it up over the pocket. So that was a bad idea. But Bill's got to get out of there. Now, well, I think he can blast this and cut it in, and he might get away with a 3-9 combo. You never know, but he's bound to hit something here. Well, he's not looking at it, but I'm sure he can blast that and cut it in. I'm 100% positive he can do that, but watch the cue ball. Well, he's played it a lot more controlled. That was excellent. And he's plump. Just got to watch he doesn't get the line slightly wrong here, because if it catches the point, he ain't going in. And that's nailed. Right, well, I think at this point in the proceedings, it might be worthwhile for any of our latecomers just to give you a quick reminder, folks. The schedule has got a number of matches on here. We've got Bedhead Miasma tomorrow night at 9:40 p.m. British Summer Time. We've got Poolkabouter Interchange X midnight Friday. That's early Saturday morning for us over here. We've got Shibo and Liquid in the one loss side Sunday at 7 a.m. in the morning, British Summer Time. We've got Cobra Sergeresh Sunday evening at 6 p.m. And we have Albinario and LS3 to follow at 8 p.m. on the same night. Then we've got Brainful Out and Acero on Monday evening at midnight, British Summer Time. And finally, Mr. Fox and Spectre Dawn on Monday the 19th at 8 p.m. So that's another one that's landed in the schedule tonight. So loads of matches upcoming. And meanwhile, Bill is going to be out and 4 away from round 3. Bill's a man in a hurry. Well, we know that there's going to be a lot more competitive matches coming up in this tournament. This is a sort of, the early rounds are really about filtering out those players who ain't going to make it to that one loss side, and then they can battle it out there. But more meaningful matches are going to come very shortly. Well, I'll tell you what, if watch that cue ball, if Mr. Fox is going to beat Spectre Dawn, two things are going to have to happen. Spectre Dawn's going to have to fall apart, and not only that, Mr. Fox is going to have to be in no miss mode. If that happens, then he's got a chance of winning. And we still wait for Spectre Dawn to break through in one of these championships. Now, this is the game that he loves. He's got bionic vision, don't forget now. So he's got no excuse. So Bill edges ever closer. And the way this match is going, we might have two matches pretty much inside the 2 hours, which suits me fine. Where's this 9 ball? Where's the cue ball going? There you go. It's going right behind the 9. Well, Bill's going to try and line up and play the jump, I think, or is he going for the kick? No, he's trying to catch the edge of this. Oh, hang on a minute. That'll do it. Very nicely done. That was cheeky, wasn't it? And he's on the 9. That was a get out of jail card there. Bill played 3 away. Well, we could have duplicate score lines in these matches tonight. Bill's got a ball. Now, Bill, should be playing the shot that Quagmire should have played earlier on. Exactly the same shot, but he got it too thick. It had to be wafer thin. And Quagmire can use the 9 ball as a stopper and try and get up towards the 7 and 8. I think you have to check the cue ball though. When if you thin edge the one, I think you have to check this with right English. Is it? I'm trying to use my reverse vision from the opposite end of the table. I can't do that. I have to go there. Yes, no, left English to straighten it up. But yeah, I don't think he's got the legs though. Well, he's got the legs, but he didn't quite have the line. This it could be a combo, or it could be just nailing him behind the 9. Yeah, I think that was legal. Incoming sneeze. And it's a false alarm. It's still hanging around somewhere, but it's not willing to let itself go. Bill doesn't even consider the 2-9 combo. He's quite happy to run these out. He's going to play the 6-9 instead. Well, Bill's certainly been a lot more consistent than what he was in that first match against Shibo. And no sooner have I said that than bam, he misses a reasonably comfortable 9-ball combo. Well, here's your chance, Quagmire, to get 6 on the board. Where can this go wrong? Well, right there, as a matter of fact. Well, here we go, Bill. Cue ball's going to have legs on it here. Oh, this is a testy one, but a little bit of right English, maybe. That needs to keep going. That'll do it. Well, we are 9:54 p.m. over here in Bonnie, Scotland, which we have been for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Bright sunshine today again, and pleasantly warm. Not that I was out in it; I was just looking out the window at it, because I avoid summer like the plague. It's bad enough having a cold, but combine that with hay fever, that's a no-no. I'm very much an indoor man when it comes to summertime. Now, this is going to be hooked, is it not? Oh, the little brush in the 8. Well, he's still hooked. Now, he might have enough room for the cross bank. He hasn't hit it, though. He's just playing safe. I think I would have went full-blooded for that. Well, you know what you can do there? You can jog off. That ain't happening. Well, the 4 ball's off the rail. So this should be Bill in the hill. But I think overall this has been certainly a better performance from Bill. I think if you were to be making a count on the errors compared to the other night, then he's well short of that. I mean, he's still made the odd mistake, as we've seen, but nowhere near what he was the first game. So what you're looking to do is to improve as you go through the tournament if you can. So he's heading in the right direction, but he's still got a fair way to go if he's going to be a threat. Well, we've had, we've had fire warnings for weeks and weeks now up here. And I think the long range forecast is talking about low pressure moving back in by the end of the month, you know, that type of forecast. You know, anything can happen between now and then, but they're not generally that far off the mark. But for the next week or so, it's still to be pretty much dry and sunny. I think they're talking about the sort of low to mid 20s for us, which is a good summer's day up here. And I noticed on the news earlier today that they're not far off calling drought conditions down south in some areas. So the bank has been nailed. Dodgy cut in the 7, whatever way you look at it. But if this goes in and he gets any sort of sniff in the 8 ball, yeah, he's overcut it. But he might be getting second prize here, I think. Oh, he's a dirty get, that Bill. A dirty, jammy get, so he is. That's how to inflict pain on your opponent when you're 18-5 in front. So, Bill, it's an identical score then. It's going to be 19-5 to Coldest Pillow and 19-5 to Bill. Who would have guessed that? Well, I think certain members of our viewing audience were a bit over enthusiastic about Quagmire's prospects because he's been a disappointment. So well done to Bill. A very comfortable 19-5 win, a lot more comfortable than his first match. And he is now through to round 3, which we will confirm right now. If we go down, Bill now lies in wait. Now he's got a long wait here because these 2 matches have still to get played. You've got Albinario LS3, you've got Sergresh and Cobra. Now, if things go according to plan, it could be Albinario Cobra round 2. In which case then, Bill's immediately jumping up to the highest level that he could possibly play in the tournament. he's going to possibly end up playing Albinario or Cobra. With the greatest respect to LS3 and Sergeresh, that's what it's looking like. So Bill's now got the wake-up call that should that transpire, he's going to have to be on a fairly high level to stay with either one of those guys, if that should be the case. Anyway, well, that wasn't bad. Just about, 2 hours and whatever, and the odd minute or so, and the job is done tonight. So keep your eye out for those other matches. And of course, they're at awkward times for me, some of them, and hopefully Slim can catch a number of them so that I can watch them when it suits me. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, folks. Not the most competitive matches we're going to see in the tournament, but you've still got to do the job no matter who you play, and Coldest Pillow and Bill got the job done. So well done to them. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm off to lie down, have a coffee, blow my nose, have a few sneezes, and then go to bed. And until next time, take care, and we'll see you again very soon. And I'll bid you good night.